I'm Mo, and welcome to the Estranged Club. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the reason why I'm estranged from my family. So this is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, please do watch that first. I'm going to link it somewhere around. Before we get into it, you should know that I'm going to be talking about abuse. And if that's something that's super triggering for you, please take care of yourself. Just make sure that you're okay. This video is mostly for people that need to feel like they're not alone, that are in a similar situation as me, and they can see that I've made it out and I'm living my best life now. So where we left off, I had just found out that my aunt, my brother, and my cousin were also victims of my dad, and I was just really pissed off. It turned out my entire mom's side was aware that my dad was a creep, but they never thought that he would do anything to his kids. When it came to light that myself and my brother were also victims, my mom's side decided to create this group chat where we would discuss this plan to pretty much take down my dad and hopefully get some justice. Now, my middle brother wasn't on board. He's never been on board. He cares a lot about financial stability, and my dad is the breadwinner of the house. My mom is just a housewife, so she didn't really contribute to the family financially. So my middle brother was concerned about the financial situation. My youngest brother, however, just doesn't like confrontation. He prefers to be drama-free. As far as he was concerned, this mission to get my dad in jail and to get justice was too stressful for him and was just too much drama. He didn't want to be involved, but he was involved. And so in this group chat, my uncle, my mom's brother, who lives in Las Vegas, decided that he was going to fly out to Miami and talk to my mom and reveal all the information that's been uncovered in the last few days, and hopefully convince her to come to Vegas with him and to, remove herself from my dad. The plan was for my brothers to pretend that they were taking my mom out to the mall, but instead they took her to the hotel where my uncle was staying. I remember I woke up at 4 in the morning for this because I was in Australia, and my youngest brother was on like a video call, and there were family members in the Philippines, family members all over the United States just watching my mom's reaction to this news. And it honestly broke my heart. I had this glimmer of hope that if the knowledge came out that her daughter, her son, her sister, and her niece were all victims of her husband, I thought it would be a no-brainer. I could accept her not protecting me, but not protecting everyone else. That would be too much for me. But when my uncle told her that my dad did all the things that he did, the first words out of her mouth was to leave him alone. She was wailing and crying, and she just could not stop saying, "Leave him alone." And that was horrible. For a daughter to hear her mother say to leave her abuser alone, that was just mind-blowing. Family group chat was going off. They were pissed. Eventually my uncle gets to a point where he's like, you should come with me back to Las Vegas. We have to get you away from your husband. And my mom was saying that she didn't want a scandal in the family, and my uncle had said that it's either your family or this man. If you choose this man, you won't have your siblings anymore. You won't have your mom anymore. You won't have Momina anymore. It was an ultimatum. It was all of us versus my dad. And at that point, my mom resigned to be like, okay, fine, I'll go with you to Las Vegas. And for some reason that gave me hope again. I know that her reaction was like, leave him alone, but I thought, okay, at least she decided to go back to Vegas with my uncle. And I was hopeful that if we removed her from my dad, then maybe things would be different, especially because there was such a huge support for her against my dad. They get to Vegas and there's talk of divorcing him, which is, you know, fine, whatever. But I'm here like, how are we gonna get this fucker in jail? My uncle was saying that it should be my mom's decision. I just didn't understand, like, why would it be my mom's decision whether my dad goes to jail or not? She wasn't the victim here. I mean, she was probably a victim of like emotional abuse because my dad was very manipulative and cunning. But why is it on her to decide what happens to him based on the traumas that myself, my brother, my aunt, and my cousin have gone through? So that really pissed me off, and I pretty much relayed those thoughts to my uncle, and he didn't like that. In Filipino culture, we've got who will respect your elders kind of thing, because they've lived more years than us. They've probably accumulated more knowledge and wisdom. It would make sense, but the reality is that nowadays it's kind of been extorted. Respect your elders suddenly means that you should blindly agree to whatever the elder says. And I'm a very outspoken person, so I just told him that I didn't agree with that decision and that I think we should report all the crimes to the police and try to get my dad in jail. Eventually, I leave Australia and I moved to California to live with my aunt for a while, and we were really hoping that we would be able to resolve the issue. I don't know why this happened, and it still infuriates me to this day. But my uncle, he was housing my mom and my brothers, and he allowed them to go back to Miami to my dad. And I'm like, why did you let them go back to the abuser? And he was like, I can't control them. So that pissed me off more, and I pretty much told him that he was being dumb. I was just really in my feels then. He didn't appreciate that, and he followed with a message threatening me, saying that if he ever saw me in person, he would beat the ever-living crap out of me. This is all in Tagalog, but I'm sure if I look up the screenshot, I've got it there, and I could add the translations. It said something along the lines of like, you know, you have no respect for your mother. I don't. For like carrying you in her womb and giving you the gift of life. Like, I didn't ask to be born. I owe her nothing. They had said that the reason why my family went back to my dad was to sort out the divorce and to sort out selling the house, because like apparently my mom was gonna move to Vegas, and fine, whatever. I still had hopes. Then it came to light that my mom wasn't even trying to divorce my dad. And then when I tried to report what had happened to the Miami-Dade police, they told me that it wasn't a sex crime. They said that because I was 16, it can only be considered battery and not a sex crime. And the statute of limitations for battery was 3 years. And so apparently I should have reported the crime before I was 19, which was the age that I realized that it had actually happened. And so the police said that there was nothing that they could do for me. I've actually got that video of my call to Miami-Dade police. And so I'll probably upload that at some point. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. It was just so upsetting that the police couldn't do anything for me, because I was finally ready. I was at that point that I was ready to pursue this, and I couldn't. My only hope was to report my youngest brother's case to the police. But when my brothers found out about that, and, you know, middle brother wanted financial stability, youngest brother just didn't want any trouble at all, so they blackmailed me with information they had on my former partner at the time. And I felt like I was caught between a rock and a hard place, but I decided not to report my brother's case because I figured that my aunt and cousin would. And they did. I never spoke to my parents and my brothers again from that point forward. I mean, I do reconnect with my youngest brother at some point, but that's a story for a different day. So my aunt and my cousin report the crime that had been committed against my youngest brother to Child Protective Services in Las Vegas, because at the time they had moved back to Vegas. They just kept on moving back and forth, and I don't really know where they are right now, but I guess they made it confusing for us as well, so that we couldn't pinpoint them and get some justice. So my aunt and my cousin reported my youngest brother's case to CPS, and for a bit they were calling us and doing interviews with us, did interviews with my brothers, and then out of nowhere they stopped contacting us. I think it just got lost in the system. We never heard back from them, and that was it. That's the end there. My dad just got away with it, and it's really horrible to think about. And so because there was nothing I could really do, I figured instead of moping, I should do something to better my life. I decided to apply for uni again to do my master's. I got a visa to move to the UK, and I've lived my best life ever since. I cut off my parents, I cut off the extended family that were siding with my dad. Ever since I left, I've been nothing but happy. Yes, there was a lot of healing involved. I still go to therapy, I still have the odd nightmare, but I'm happy. I have a dog, I have a lovely, lovely partner. I've got a career going for me. Having no family sucks. It does, but the benefits definitely outweigh the drawbacks. So yeah, that's why I'm estranged from family, and I don't regret it at all. Thank you for watching this video. It means a lot to me that you were here to listen to my story. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I post estrangement content every week, and soon enough I will have a website up and running where I will be providing estrangement coaching. So if you're considering becoming estranged from family, I can help guide you in the little steps that we can take, give you some emotional support, because I know it's a really tough thing to do, but it's so rewarding to be able to decide for yourself that you're going to live your life the way you want it and not by the confines of what society tells you you should do. But yeah, more information on that in the future. If you want to support us, please see the description below. We've got different socials. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you next week. I love my life now, and sometimes it feels like it was worth going through all that trauma just to get here.